What's up guys, JV2017 here, bringing your daily Destiny tips and tricks video, and today Bungie released a brand new what they call a hotfix. It's not like a permanent update because I think they kind of number their updates like 1.0.1, 1.0.2, so this is 1.0.2.2, so that's what they call a hotfix for Destiny today on October 14th, and it's actually got a lot of changes, so I thought it'd be worth a video to go over this with you all. As always, I will leave a link in the description of just the written portion if you'd rather just, look at it for yourself instead of listening to me. Totally understand. So, first off, they come out with a summary and basically say this is a bunch of weapon balance changes and changes to specific weapons such as the Vex Mythoclast, which is pretty much deemed and held as the most overpowered weapon in Destiny, as well as the Pocket Infinity, and also some changes with the Templar encounter in the Vault of Glass. They also let us know that they're working on a larger update that will buff the Bad Juju and the Thorn, as well as some overall class balance, which I really can't wait for that update. That's what I'm most excited about here. So, starting us off, something general that they did is they fixed a bug where a certain ship was looking the same as another ship. So that's just kind of a really small change that, it's nice that they fixed up there. Now for the classes. So for the Titan, the Unbreakable, I guess they call it a perk here. I guess it's a perk. It granted more agility, so it's nice that they fixed that up. Also with the Warlock, Brimstone can now activate while mid-air, which is interesting. Mid-air activation on your perk. That sounds pretty handy. And that's all we have with our classes. So on to pretty much the meat of this update was the weapon changes. So very generally, they fixed an issue relating to quick weapon swapping. I'm not sure if they nerfed it or buffed it, but whatever they did, they fixed it. Here's the big stuff. The auto rifle base damage was decreased by 2%. The modifier was also decreased on headshots from 1.5 to 1.25. And also the stability was decreased by 4% to 17%, basically driven, it says driven by stat value, but also based on the weapon archetype here. So what does this all mean? This is basically a nerf for auto rifles. They will deal less damage, upon headshot, and they will kick up more. So expect these, subtle little changes when you're playing the game. For hand cannons, they increased in-air accuracy. Honestly, the only good hand cannons are the very, very good exotic ones, so I would have liked to have seen more with the hand cannons, but that's all that they fixed this time around. With scout rifles, they buffed everything. The base damage increased by 6%, damage versus combatants increased by 6 to 25% based on tier. Now, I'm going to assume that means rare scout rifles, legendary scout rifles, and exotic scout rifles. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to assume that's what that means. And I'm going to assume that combatants also means in the Crucible only. So expect that as the change there. Also improved target acquisition. I'm going to assume that means auto aim. So they kind of increased the auto aim on the scout rifles with an additional recoil tuning. So again, scout rifles, nice little buff here, which is really nice for people who have the Vision of Confluence, which is from the raid. It's a legendary scout rifle that's excellent, as well as the other exotic scout rifle that's really good at. It's blanking the name on me right now. It's called the something tuner, something like that. Anyways, shotguns. So they nerfed shotguns, decreased the base damage at maximum range by 20%. So that's a pretty big deal. You're not going to be getting insta kills with shotguns as much anymore. Shot package perk also has a slightly wider cone of fire, so that's another nerf. I would consider that a nerf because usually you don't want to, encounter more than one enemy when you're playing multiplayer at once. Maybe it's nicer for PvE, but not PvP. And then finally, rangefinder and shot package are mutually exclusive, which means you can't run both of them at once. So, on to the exotic weapons. The Vex Mythoclast, again hailed as the most overpowered weapon, has been decreased its damage by 34%. That's pretty big. However, they increased the precision damage multiplier from 1.25 to 1.5, which is the exact opposite of what they did with auto rifles. So that just means that basically this is going to, I would say, benefit more accurate players and better players, you know, in terms of this damage multiplier. However, in general, the Vex Mythoclast is going to be a weaker gun. It's not going to be as good as it was before. It's just very simply not going to be. The Pocket Infinity, now they have replaced the enhanced battery perk with the speed reload perk. So enhanced battery, I believe, just kind of you know, obviously enhanced the weapon even more. So that's a small nerf, not a huge nerf, but it's just a little change for that Pocket Infinity. Next up, weapon perks, or I like to call them modifiers. I don't know why they're using the word perk here. So metal detector, they fixed a bug that prevents this perk from actually providing additional ammo. Oh no. And finally, lightweight, they fixed a bug that allowed additional agility to apply even when the weapon was stowed. So lightweight is a modifier that you can have on your weapons whereby you have +2 agility when you're using the weapon. So instead of only when you're using the weapon, it was applying it at all times. They have fixed that to when you're only using the weapon, which is pretty cool. So the last round of little changes they've made are in the activities and destinations section. So for strikes, the Engram awards from strikes will now appear in the post-game activity summary where they didn't before. It was kind of strange, so they made a little cosmetic change there. In the Vault of Glass for the Templar boss fight, the kill volume added to sniper platforms has been increased. So that means that you can't just sit on top of the platforms on the sides. I'm sure a lot of you seasoned raiders will know what I'm talking about when I say that. Also, the relic is now removed and respawned if the holder leaves a playable area, which again means if for some reason the person that's holding the relic leaves the game or they fall off the side, it'll be returned to its original spot, which is nice. That's a nice change, because before you would just have to back out. It's just kind of just a quality of life change that's pretty useful. However, I am just dumbfounded why they haven't fixed the ending glitch for their raid. They still haven't done it, and I don't understand. I really, really expect it to be in the next hotfix or major update. Finally, they have this weird little line here for the destinations. The Fallen have also retreated from their hold over the Rocket Yard to discuss a new takeover plan. So, I don't know. Is this foreshadowing to our first DLC, which is called The Dark Below? I'm not sure, because our first DLC is centered around the Hive, so I don't know. I mean, the Fallen are obviously related in some way, but it's basically about the Hive. So I don't know what this means. Maybe this was another spot that people were trying to farm? I'm not sure. I really don't know. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to go over this with you all, give you my thoughts, and keep you informed on Destiny. So I hope you learned something new from this video, and if you did, remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. Also, don't forget, this is your #1 destination for Destiny. Please subscribe if you have not already. I will talk to you all next time. Peace.